Welcome back to America, guys. Today we are out test riding the new Indian Scout Bobber. Indian released a brand new lineup of Scouts this year. This is one of the new bikes they released in that lineup. But this is the Scout Bobber. Looks awesome. And we have the digital package on board, so we also have Ride Command. I'm going to go over all the awesome features of this motorcycle for you. We're going to break it down. We're going to walk around the bike, show you everything it's got, and just put it through its paces. Let's get started. Alright, so starting off with the Indian Scout Bobber, we're going to talk about comfort. If a bike's not comfortable, you won't want to ride it. Now, we have obviously a sport style seating position. We do have forward controls, but you are also leaned forward. So it's a very aggressive riding style and seating position. It's not uncomfortable, it's just not a relaxed cruiser, that's for sure. Now, if you guys have ever ridden a Scout Bobber from a previous year, you'll know that the old Bobber seat was horribly uncomfortable. Oh, it was terrible. It was like sitting on a brick. The new Scout Bobber seat, I could live with this. I could actually sit in this for a while, I think. It's much better. So Indian refined it and made it a lot better. Now, one other thing that will lend itself to comfort with the Scouts is we're dealing with a different type of suspension system. With the Bobber, there's only a 2-inch suspension travel. On the Scout Sport, there is a 3-inch suspension travel. I do not know about the Scout 101, but you guys watch that video, I'm sure I'll talk about it on there. So there's a slightly lower suspension travel on the Indian Scout Bobber versus the others. Gives it more of a low and aggressive look. That's what they're going for. Overall, for comfort, I'll give it a good 6.5 to 7 out of 10. You know, it's not a big relaxed cruiser, it's not a touring bike, but for what it is with the riding position and being aggressive, and you know, basically their version of a Sportster, but way better than a Sportster, way more power, I'll give it a good 6.5 to 7 out of 10 on comfort. Now we're on the highway, we're in 4th gear. This is a 1250cc engine, and we're doing about 65 currently. Let's bump those numbers up and see what we can do.
12 seconds later.
There's those bumps aren't great with 2 inches of suspension travel. When we get off up here, I'll show you guys the seat. You'll see it doesn't really come very high up your back. You need something to hold you on if you're gonna go that fast. That was one of the most fun things I've done on a bike in a while. That was spectacular. The acceleration out of these little Scouts never ceases to amaze me. Oh, that's so much fun. Once your butt starts sliding, though, it starts getting into a sketch city there. All right. Anyone coming? Nobody coming. We're going to pull over up here and take a look at this bike, walk around and show you guys all the features, and also take a look at this beautiful paint job. All right. Find my kickstand here. There she is, guys. The new Indian Scout Bobber style and the new redesigned Indian engine. 1250cc. Something weird, you know, on the bigger touring bikes you have a push button to turn them on. Now we've got a push button down here. If you were familiar with the older Scouts, this is where you would actually put a physical key in. Now they're fobbed like all the Indians, like the bigger bikes always were, and you just push to turn it on. Up front we've got ABS. On the Bobber we only have a single disc brake. I believe the 101 you get dual disc brakes and the inverted fork. Liquid cooled, 2-into-1 exhaust, 2-inch travel on the rear suspension. Again, you get 3 when you go up to the Sport. Ruby red metallic smoke. I believe smoke is their version of flat. It's just absolutely gorgeous bike. Looks really nice. We've got Ride Command up front, so touchscreen enabled. You can also flip through it with triggers up here on your handlebar controls. Give you different screens. You also have navigation on here as well. If you pair it to your phone, you would have Bluetooth control as well. You can change it between rain mode, standard, and sport. So on the liquid-cooled engines, it's rain standard sport. On the air-cooled engines, it's tour standard sport. So different types of ride modes, essentially all meaning the same thing. The difference is tour versus rain. Traction control on. We're leaving that on. Never turn that off. Why you would turn that off is beyond me. It would be dumb to not have that on. We do have options that can be added to this bike. You can have heated grips, you can add running lights, but overall, as she sits, I think she looks pretty good. You can see this seat does not come up much, just a little bit in the back, and I was sliding up and off. There's just so much air hitting me in the front. It was carrying my butt up and back. All right, we've talked about the power. We've talked about comfort. We've done a walk around. Now let's hit the twisties. Grip it, rip it, and see how it handles. We're still in sport mode. We have 4 controls on here, which I prefer. I feel more in control of the bike with them. I just always have. Personal preference. The Scout is their sport bike. Well, I guess they have the FTR, which is more of a hooligan bike, but the Scout is just awesome for carving. If you want the ultimate bike for carving and ripping up twisty turns or going through like Tail the Dragon, stuff like that, but you're not going for a sport bike, the Scout is where it's at. This is where I would recommend you all turn to for your carving. Just a fun bike to rip around on. Oh, this is so much fun. I love these Scouts. Maybe I'll have one in the garage one day. We'll see. For now, I'll be fine with the Chieftain. So handling, leaning it over in the turns. I'll put the lean angles up on the screen for you guys, but it's plenty far. I didn't scrape any peg, and I leaned it over pretty far back there. Again, these are demo bikes. I'm not going to push it to the absolute limit here on lean angle and slide something out, but the lean angle's pretty good. The handling's great, unless you're trying to drag knee, in which case you need to be on a sport bike. The handling on these Scouts is absolutely perfect. 10 out of 10 on handling. Lastly, we're going to talk about style. They've changed the style. You can still tell it's a Scout. It's not a drastic change from the 2024s, but the 2025s are slightly different. They released the new lineup. The engine looks a little different. Some of the just overall lines of the bike are a little different. The main bike that's different is the new 101 that they've added to the lineup. That certainly has the different look. Other than that, you can still tell it's a Scout. So if you like a Scout versus a Harley Sportster, that would be kind of your comparison market there. I prefer the way the Scouts look. I own a Harley Sportster. I own an Iron 883. I still prefer the way the Scouts look versus that, even though I own the Harley Iron 883. So that's all personal preference. I think we're going to wrap that video up here. That about covers everything. Thank you guys for getting to this point in the video, and if you think I've earned it and you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. Click the bell icon next to it and you'll be notified when there are new videos to watch here on MotoBlade. Try to release new demo rides, new videos for you guys every week. I appreciate all my current subscribers. If you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. Also, please hit that thumbs up button. That helps us crack the YouTube algorithm and gets this video out to more people who want to know all about these awesome Indian motorcycles. I've got a lot more videos coming from Americade. We've got Indian, we've got Harley, we've got Honda. There are going to be a few surprise videos in there hopefully as well. I just have to work out a few things with there are certain companies that will and will not allow you to take cameras on the ride. So thank you to Indian and Harley for being so accommodating and allowing me to do all these great test rides for them. I really appreciate it. So until next time, y'all know what to do. Be careful out there. Ride safe, ride on. I'll catch you on the next video. Deuces.